Peacings. This is Plug'em, live and direct in the Motor City. I just ran into my man T Lloyd Hardwick down here at the Secretary of State. We're on Grand Boulevard and Cass, historic intersections here in the city. And the brother writes great books, and so I thought that it might be good to give him a little exposure to you guys who are more interested in the history of Detroit, and in particular about Highland Park, which is the place that I understand actually set Detroit off in the very beginning. A big shout out to my main man 50 Grand Brad Scott with the Gorilla Shark t-shirts that you see us in some of the photos wearing. Well, you see the brothers around me wearing them. I was in my mode that day, so I didn't have one on. But anyway, this is brother T Lloyd Hardwick. Say hello to the people, brother.
All right. How you doing? I'm author T Lloyd Hardwick, author of 5 books and 4 screenplays. And I'm just out promoting my books and trying to make things happen. Yeah, we have a movie coming out under our film production company called Last True Poet, and about 2015 or so. We'll see how that goes.
Okay. And you know, I consider myself a lightweight jamming baby bear type of writer in my own right, and so I have a heart for most artists, especially those who write. And so the brother told me what his books was about. I was very intrigued, and I'm going to support it. And for any who else would like to support him, he's going to give you that information. But first, a little background, if you will, about how you came to decide to write these stories. Tell people a little bit about the Highland Park murders, which some of you could Google that. You can find out about that. That's one of the things that put Detroit on the map for certain things.
Well, I first came to some prominence in the poultry field there, and that's a shot of the book Murder in the Park. It's been out for a few years, but it's still tintulating.
Right on.
Still captures the attention of the people. That's one of my best sellers right there. And as I stated before, I started out as a poet, doing the circuit and doing just a lot of stuff, just from the heart out to the people. And just basically, I moved it up a little bit and started telling short stories. Short stories turned into long stories. Long stories turned into screenplays. Well, that's where I'm at right now. I'm at the screenplay stage.
Okay. All right. Do you have a little sample of poetry? I'm putting the brother on the spot right now.
Well, I don't know if I can come up with anything right now. It's been so long. I mean, seriously. I'm usually good at being caught off guard, but today is not that day. So.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about the books there, brother.
Well, right now, I still all have all of these books right here in production. Brown Sugar Baby, that's one of my early works.
What's it about?
Brown Sugar Baby is about actually an exotic dancer, and by way of her childhood, she had a lot of struggles, and she overcame a lot of things. A lot of you all will be familiar with the streets and some of the names and incidents linked to this young lady. And she was a very powerful and strong young lady. And like I said, she overcame a lot in her life. That's Brown Sugar Baby.
Okay, so now you're kind of in the vein of other Detroit writers like Donald Goines, people may have heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that, sir?
I'd say I think he's written like 13 books, so I'm not kind of like all the way on that level, but I'm headed toward that level.
Okay,
right. And but I do have that thing they call the it thing, and I think I got it. So, and I'm still working on it. It's always room for improvement.
Okay, now also because we do a service for the Most High first and foremost, and to Him goes all of the glory for all talents and gifts.
To the Most High.
And so, tell us a little bit about how you came to discover that He had given you that talent, if you will, or give some encouragement to those who may be out there with certain talents and gifts like writing, and
yes, sir.
Tell them some about how the Lord moved you in that direction, if you will.
Well, you're really going to know your gift kind of early on. It may be in one form or another, but you just listen to that inner voice, that's telling you to follow your dream and your passion within, and actually just put it into work, put it into use. You can if there's something that you desire to do, you can get up and do it at any hour with no money whatsoever. It doesn't take money to follow your passion and follow your dreams.
Okay. So now, I could imagine that, you know, being an independent business person, you've probably bumped into some of the publishing companies who might not have seen the vision the way that you saw it. So, you know, we also do a lot of exposure about the system and the way that certain things in the system, you know, people call it the Illuminati, different things, but certain things in the system are designed to keep you from having certain exposure.
That's right.
But yet you're out here, you know, I bumped into you out here on the street.
That's
you know,
right.
You're out here doing it the way that it can be done without their hands in it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Years ago, I had received several rejection letters from the so-called major publication companies. And with those rejection letters, I hit the streets. I published my own books. I started my own publication company called Daywriter Publications. And from there, I just hit the streets. And, you know, our people are our greatest asset. And we, you know, we have to support our own. You know, in order for those big companies to have made it big, somebody had to support them. You know, so, and that's basically where I stand on that one. We have to support our own and our own projects. So,
okay, tell us a little bit about the Highland Park murders.
The Highland Park murders. There was a young man in the early '90s, '91, '92, somewhere in there, who was killing prostitutes and just had the city in an uproar, Detroit and Highland Park, for like 2 years in a row. And I mean, he done a lot of damage, caused a lot of fear, just upset the city. And there was a massive manhunt on for him. And I kind of like fictionalized the story, you know, to embellish it a little bit. And I went from there with it. It turned out to be a great story.
Okay, now it is my contention that just like with Jack the Ripper or with the Atlanta child murders, oftentimes there's deeper levels to that story than people really see. And, you know, there's always a scapegoat, you know, usually a lackey or a flunky of some higher group, sometime that has either been programmed to do those type of killings or who may be, you know, unbeknownst to the public, actually connected to some sort of secret society. Is there any tie or inclination of that in the book?
Well,
just curious.
In my research, I didn't find any ties to any particular groups, but I did notice that the guy had a lot of childhood issues and social issues that he was dealing with.
Mind control. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. So now just tell us a little bit about Highland Park and its connection to Detroit. Some people don't know Highland Park as well as they do Detroit. So if you could just expound on that a little, taste.
In the early '70s, Highland Park was listed in all of the major publications across the country as one of the most beautiful cities in America.
Wow.
And you know, with the Ford Empire and a lot of those big industries that came through during that time, the earlier times before the '70s. You know, so it was truly the land of milk and honey at one point for some people. You know, for some people, and it thrived for quite a while. And Detroit is kind of like the spinoff from it.
That's right.
Know, and it had a lot of and it's still thriving to this day in certain areas. You know, so it's just about getting back and getting the people to start back working together. You know, so we can rebuild this city and ourselves.
Absolutely. Now, many of you are familiar with Highlanders or the term Highland connecting to the Scottish Rite. And my understanding from my man Brad Scott and Brother Moodoo, luminaries there in Highland Park in their own right for the right. Highland Park was the original thing, and Ford set up Highland Park to be a place to house his workers. Is that true, brother?
You know, I've heard rumors to that effect, and more than likely it was. You know, it's not uncommon for corporations to build housing for their workers. It's not uncommon, so I would kind of go with that. I would have to dig a little bit further, you know, for the actual facts, dates, and times, but I can go with that.
Okay, so now, if you will, brother, just tell the people how they can get in touch with you if they're interested in these very intriguing books and stories.
Yeah, you can get in touch with me at T Lloyd Hardwick 9 at outlook.com. T Lloyd Hardwick 9 at outlook.com. All small caps, all small letters. And number is 313-573-2134. And I really appreciate your audience at this time.
All right, and thank you again, Brother T. Lloyd. This has been a public service message from your man, Unplug 'em. To always the Most High, Ahaya Yahweh be the glory, in the mighty name of the Messiah Jesus, Yahweh Shah. We thank you again for your time, and we'll be back with the regularly scheduled D program.
Peace.
Peace.